more seconds, I'd say. Yeah. The last two over there. I know. It's the way of the world.
Ready? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can go.
Please be seated. Good morning. My name is Kimberly Lau. I'm a professor of literature, and I'm currently the chair of the Academic Senate at UCSC. And on behalf of UC Santa Cruz, I welcome all of you to these exercises today, which mark the 53rd Graduate Division Commencement at UCSC. We're so pleased to have you join us in this auspicious occasion this morning. I just want to take a few minutes to say a couple words about our ceremony. Commencement exercises are often a once-in-a-lifetime event for students and their families, so we ask that those with young children be particularly mindful of the solemnity of this event. In addition, we ask you to please keep the aisles and stage area free during the ceremony. We have the services of a professional photographer who will be taking photographs of each student while the student receives the degree. And now I would like to introduce our platform guests. With us today are Chancellor George Blumenthal, Campus Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor Lori Kletzer, Vice Provost and Graduate Dean Quentin Williams, Vice Chancellor of Business and Administrative Services Sarah Latham, Dean of Arts Ted Warburton, Dean of Social Sciences Catherine Mitchell, Associate Dean of the Baskin School of Engineering Abel Rodriguez, Rachel Carson College Provost Sue Carter, Academic Senate Vice Chair David Brundage, and Gina Dent, Chair of the Graduate Council. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce Vice Provost and Graduate Dean Quentin Williams. Thank you.
I seem to have to adjust the mic. Good morning. And this is a great time to have a graduation because traditionally the graduation has been in the afternoon and usually it's been 95 degrees, so consider yourself very fortunate at the moment. So I'm Quentin Williams. I'm Vice Provost and Dean of Graduate Studies and Professor of Earth and Planetary Sciences. I'd like to extend my heartiest congratulations to our graduates who are with us here today. Your achievements speak volumes to your dedication and perseverance, as well as the support you've received from mentors, family, and friends. On behalf of the faculty at UC Santa Cruz and myself personally, I congratulate you on your academic achievements and wish you success for a bright and productive future. There you go. You're on your way. I'm very pleased to introduce today's graduation speaker, UCSC Chancellor George Blumenthal. Okay, we'll give him a little hand. George has had many different roles on the campus since he joined the faculty here in 1972, which was, I have to say, even when I was really young. He was joined in astronomy and astrophysics following his PhD in physics from the University of California, San Diego, and his bachelor's from University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Since this is an academic gathering, I'll just note that his most cited paper was his 1984 Nature paper with almost 2,000 citations entitled Formation of Galaxies and Large-Scale Structure with Cold Dark Matter. That's pretty good. But, of course, the reason he's the graduation speaker today is, for better or worse, not for his achievements in research on dark matter in the universe, but rather that he's the UCSC chancellor. He's got 13 years under his belt in this position, which makes him the second longest serving current UC chancellor of a UC campus. And After having led UCSC through, among other things, its first capital campaign, he's retiring in a scant 2.28 weeks. You got to be precise with astronomers, so that's what it is. And he will depart with the warmest wishes of the campus on his retirement. And just incidentally, coming full circle, in his very first year as chancellor, he gave the commencement speech at graduation. So this ceremony actually sort of bookends his chancellorship of UCSC. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor George Blumenthal.
Thank you, Quentin. Campus Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor Kletzer, Dean Williams, Academic Senate Chair Lau, distinguished colleagues, honored graduates, family and friends, thank you all for your warm welcome. I am honored to be here today and delighted that I was invited by Campus Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor Lori Kletzer to address all of you today. All of you soon-to-be graduates on this very, very special occasion. This is your day, no doubt about that. But I must say that, as Quentin suggested, this is a special day for me as well. This is my final commencement address as chancellor of this remarkable institution. And it feels especially fitting to be here with you today. And the reason is that I've presented several commencement addresses over the years at different institutions around the country. But it was about 12 and a half or 13 years ago that nearly to this day that I was standing on this very field, also before the soon-to-be alumni of our graduate division, giving my first ever commencement speech. So I do feel as though I've come full circle. This is the 53rd year our campus has held a graduate commencement. Graduate education has been an integral part of UC Santa Cruz all the way back to our founding in 1965, demonstrating the very deep commitment on this campus towards scholarly exploration, innovation, and discovery. I've had the good fortune to have witnessed much of that history, having arrived here in 1972, fresh out of graduate school, eager to launch my career. And I understand the immense value of your work. Your research fuels the imagination. It yields scientific breakthroughs and advances social justice. In short, it enriches all of our lives. I saw ample evidence, ability to provide outstanding undergraduate education through your teaching and through your mentoring. And I'm extremely proud of the current state of our graduate division, and I'm pleased to have helped oversee its expansion. We now have 36 PhDs and more than 50 master's programs spread over all 5 academic divisions. The wonderful outcome of that expansion is right here today, all of you graduates. Sitting before us are historians, biologists, and astrophysicists. We have with us writers and musicians, filmmakers and linguists, teachers and engineers, entrepreneurs and public servants. Roughly 240 of you are about to receive your PhD degree. We have 56 candidates for teaching credentials combined with master's degrees in education. Add to that 62 candidates for Masters of Arts, 19 for Masters of Fine Arts, and a whopping 294 for Masters of Science. And some items of note today: our nationally known Science Communications program, formerly a certificate program, will graduate its first Masters of Science cohort of 10 students after they complete their internships over the summer. We will also be awarding PhD degrees to the first 2 graduates of the Feminist Studies program. I am proud not only of the sheer number of degrees, but of the varied fields of studies. So congratulations to each of you. You've worked hard to get here. Some of you may have gone without sleep to finish your work, but soon you should be able to catch up, hopefully after I've finished talking. I really want to make two main points today. First, always keep your sense of inquiry. And second, make sure that you can clearly communicate to others what it is that you do, especially if it's one of those super-duper, highfalutin advanced degrees. I'll tell you in a moment why that's important, but first I'd like to tackle the first part. And I want to do so by telling you about a gift I received more than a decade ago. Shortly after the president of the University of California system removed the word interim from my title, hung a medal around my neck, and officially pronounced me chancellor. The gift, however, came from someone else, the president of the UC Santa Cruz Foundation, Gordon Ringgold. He presented me with two books, and the two books were Curious George Gets a Job and Curious George Gets a Medal. Now, I hope I'm not dating myself and that you remember the Curious George books. He was a monkey, a curious one at that, who always managed to find himself in precarious situations, though they always ended well. His keeper was simply known as the man with the big yellow hat. That was an inspiring gift, one that came to serve as an important reminder to me, to always stay curious. Always keep your sense of inquiry no matter where you are or what you're doing. Keep asking questions, keep probing, keep wondering why, and keep asking how come. In my case, for example, I was always fascinated by the puzzle of how structure forms in the universe, even though as a graduate student I didn't directly work on that problem, mainly because I had no idea where the answer lay. So that was me, Curious George. I kept my fascination and never gave up thinking about that puzzle. So years later, when I was a young professor here, my collaborators on campus and I realized that the newly discovered dark matter, which is now known to be the major component of matter in the universe, was the key to understanding how galaxies formed. So that curiosity and determination allowed me to participate in a key paradigm shift in our understanding of the large-scale universe, all because of continuing curiosity. It has the power to make a difference in all fields, whatever work you're doing. Now, let me tell you a story about a master of question asking. I had this friend in graduate school who always had the courage to ask questions, no matter what the situation. And to this day, I still remember a very intimidating class we took in physics, a graduate class, where the professor wrote so much on the board and he wrote so fast that all of the students in class were hurriedly and somewhat desperately copying the board just as he was busy erasing it. My friend was the only one with the gumption to ask questions. And when he did, the professor had to stop writing so he could answer the question. And the rest of us were so grateful because that gave us a chance to catch up. Well, it turned out my friend also got a PhD in physics, but his questions didn't stop. His curiosity didn't stop either. He later went on to law school and became a law professor. And incidentally, he introduced me to my wife. So that's another benefit of question asking. Sometimes the benefits aren't even immediately apparent. Soon, you'll be taking the next step in your career. Many of you will be returning to the classroom to teach, from kindergarten to the graduate level. Some of you will return to the classroom as students to work toward your next degree. And some of you will join the academy as professors or as postdocs. Back when I was a graduate student, there was this urban myth. The legend was that once you officially got your PhD degree, your faculty advisor would take you aside and tell you that everything you sweated to learn, all the information that you had laboriously mastered, was all wrong. There was no truth to it. This myth suggested that you jump through all of those hoops of learning just to be admitted to a very exclusive club, sort of like an initiation. But now that you had your PhD, it would be okay to let you in on the truth. And at that point, your advisor would reveal the grand truths of your field of study. It's a great story, but unfortunately, that's all it is. Or at least the truth was never revealed to me. I hope they didn't just forget. And I don't think that that's going to happen to you. But there is a different kind of truth that comes from interacting with others and learning from others. When I arrived at UC Santa Cruz 47 years ago, I found a place where I could reach out to faculty from other disciplines and learn from them. I discovered the intellectual stimulation that thrives right here on campus, a place where I could interact with a community of scholars. And this opportunity to interact brings me to my second point. That is, the importance of communicating what it is you do. One of the things you do as a professor is serve on dissertation committees. And in doing so, you have to judge the research of the graduate students that they've completed. As someone who works at the intersection of astronomy, physics, and mathematics, I found myself serving on a lot of dissertation committees in 4 or 5 different departments over the years. I often served as the outside member of dissertation committees in other departments. So I'd like to let you in on a little secret, which now I can reveal now that I'm retiring. I frequently found myself on a committee where I didn't have a clue. Sometimes I just didn't understand the work the student had done, and I couldn't fathom what they were talking about. And it's really kind of embarrassing to be an outside member, to be a professor, and not understand a dissertation I'm supposed to evaluate and judge. So I developed a standard question that I would always ask, whether I understood the subject or not. It was my standard question on PhD exams. And so I'll tell you what it is. What I would do is I would say, so Mr. or Ms. So-and-so, soon you are going to be Dr. So-and-so. And off you go to the next chapter of your life. In a month, you might find yourself, say, at Harvard University as a new faculty member or as a postdoc. And I'd say, I want you to imagine that a week after you've arrived, you're at a party, and the president of Harvard University comes over to you. Until recently, the president of Harvard was a historian. And she says, oh, Dr. So-and-so, I understand you just got your PhD, so your PhD dissertation must have advanced human knowledge. So would you please explain to me how you have advanced human knowledge? What would you tell her, I asked. In fact, I've asked that question many dozens of times on dissertation committees. And it's really interesting to watch the reaction. You do get some deer in the headlight responses. And sometimes students rise to the occasion and provide an eloquent explanation of what they've done at a level that even I can understand. But the point is that when you've received an advanced degree, a master's or a PhD, it's vital, absolutely vital, that you not only have this knowledge and understanding or involved yourself in creating knowledge, but that you can communicate your work and your knowledge to all segments of society. That you can spread the word, share what you've done, and share it in a way that it can be heard and understood. Be prepared to explain it to a historian in such a way that they can understand, or if you happen to be a historian, so that even a rocket science or brain surgeon can make sense of it. That brings to mind that Richard Feynman, the Nobel Prize-winning physicist who taught for many years at Caltech. Whenever Richard Feynman was talking to non-academics, he never fell back on his authority as a great thinker. Rather, he said, you should not fool the layman when you're talking as a scientist. He felt that if he couldn't explain it to ordinary people, he probably didn't understand it himself. He knew more than most of us. He knew more than most of us will ever know, yet he insisted on speaking our language. And speaking of Feynman, I have a little confession to make before I conclude. Whenever I visited the physics department at Caltech, perhaps to give a talk or to interact with a colleague there, and I couldn't find a place to park, I'd always park in the spot that was marked Feynman. And I never got a ticket. And so that's my third point. Grab parking wherever you find it. So here are just a few more parting words. The first are from Kathy Sullivan, the first American woman to walk in space, and a UCSC graduate, a banana slug. When she spoke to your counterparts here, she said, and I quote, "As graduates of the University of California, you are expected to live the motto, fiat lux, let there be light. Use your UCSC education as a tool to light the world. Do not just respect differences between people, but make a difference in relations among people." So find work you love. It's a common theme in commencement speeches, from Steve Jobs to Drew Faust, the former Harvard president, and it is true. Work will expand to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs said that. It is hard to be happy if you spend more than half your life, half your waking hours doing something you don't love. Inquire, share your knowledge, do what you love, and have fun while you're doing it. And I'd like to add one more thing. As you rise up the ladder, and I know you will do so, wherever you find yourself, whether it's in business, academia, or in public service, make sure you find time to put your feet up on your desk. Do that once in a while, look at the ceiling or look out the window, and just think the big thoughts. Congratulations, graduate class of 2019. Fiat slug.
Okay, now we come to the conferring of the degrees. Dean Williams and Campus Provost Kletzer will present the students to Chancellor Blumenthal, who will confer the degrees.
All right, before we begin the awarding of degrees, I'd just like to take this opportunity to explain the process we're going to follow. Degrees will be awarded first to the Master of Science students, next to the Master of Arts, the Master of Fine Arts, and finally to the candidates for the Doctor of Musical Arts and Doctors of Philosophy. Got all that? Okay, short test later. Within each degree group, the students have lined up in non-alphabetical order. So please be watching for your student as she or he approaches the stage. So that's on you. The first groups of degree recipients will receive the master's degree. The award of the master's degree signifies the completion of normally 1 or 2 years of rigorous coursework beyond the bachelor's degree, and in many instances includes the completion of a thesis, a research paper or project, or student teaching. Many of our master's recipients will be continuing for the PhD degree either here at UCSC or at another university, and others will be embarking on careers in education, government, public service, business, and industry. We congratulate our master's degree recipients and wish them well in their future endeavors. First, I will present the candidates for the degree of Master of Science. Chancellor Blumenthal, I am pleased to present to you those students who have successfully completed the prescribed course of studies for the degree Master of Science. Eric Palmer Queen. Oh, wait, you get that. Sorry, go ahead. McKenna Hicks. Sorry. Get this down yet. Daniel Guo. Oh, yeah. Maria Elizabeth McNaughton, Ocean Sciences. Leone Natanella Cotriel Yisrael, Ocean Sciences. Jinyun Kui, Ocean Sciences. Okay. The following candidates are all receiving the Master of Science degree in Applied Economics and Finance. Morgan Darknell. Adam Redding Kaufman. Oh, okay. Ashwin Hari Krishnan. Avi Sharan. Drishti Bardwaj. Tyler Austin Furby. Jarrett Jason Jover. Patrick McClellan. Omar Higaze. Robert Kenneth Gallagher. Vincent Pham. Chris Ho. Joyce Shaw. Pratik Kumar. Gabriel Aquino Benasso. Ziyu Kao. Chenbo Zhu. Tao Liu. Hao Cheng Wang. I keep it. Yangjing Zhang. Tong Sha. Cheng Ku. Yu Guo. Congratulations. Kevin Ni. Keishin Ni. Yep. Yujia Jai. Yakong Sun. Chu Xuan Lin. Congratulations. Hao Jiang. Congratulations. Jinhao Shi. Congratulations. Manat Sandhu. Congratulations. Purva Chabra. Congratulations. Lucy Kopayeva. Jin Bian. Congratulations. I keep that. Hongbing Li. Renhan Zhu. Congratulations. Garima Wadwa. Congratulations. Yiji Li. Jun Shi. Congratulations. I keep that. Congratulations. Yutong Lu. Congratulations. Wenting Wang. Congratulations. I keep that.
So these are not applied economics, so you can read them.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Samantha Ray McHugh, psychology. Brenda Selena Gutierrez, psychology. Tess Avril Hafley, psychology. Anka Mihaela Popescu. Congratulations. Sarah Genevieve Jarvis, statistics and applied mathematics. Mary Stella Silva, statistics and applied mathematics. Diana Gerardo, statistics and applied mathematics. Yuting Chen, computer science. Jishuan Zhao, computer engineering. Sing Hung Shi, computer engineering. Ben Sherman, computer science. Liang Wang, computer engineering. Congratulations. Okay. Will the candidates for the degree Master of Science please rise?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the President and Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Science with all of the rights and privileges thereto pertaining. Congratulations to you.
Okay, now I will present the candidates for the degree Master of Arts. Chancellor Blumenthal, I am pleased to present to you those students who have successfully completed the prescribed course of studies for the degree Master of Arts. Jacqueline Elizabeth Lamb, Molecular Cell and Developmental Bio. Michael Blackburn, Music. Aki Kurosawa, Sociology. Matthew Lee, Mathematics. Mariana Leticia Romero, Literature. James Nathaniel Nichols, Literature. The following candidates are all receiving the Master of Arts degree in Education. Scott Hawklin. Marcos Antonio Madrigal Avila. Carolyn Carson Nicodemus. Claire Depew. Adam Didier. Jacob Barrow. Jesse Sherwood. Brooke Owens. Sarah Mueller. Sarah Kletzer. She has a friend on the stage. Karen Viridiana Olmos. Elizabeth Mednikov. Jenna Junevillin Ortiz. Valerie Hooper. Sarah Burkhart. Chelsea McHale Barrett. Congratulations. Alan Magrum. Zoe Iyer. Corinne Suzanne Stewart. Kenya Goikochea. Pei Han Huang. Madeline Swift McCone. Julia Baginski. Anthony Aceves. Sulin Shi. Stuti Aurora. Alexander Samuel Burkading. Hilario Luis Avena. Andrew Richmond. Cosmic Moore. Jasa Nicole Fox. Morgan Sage Turner. April Elaine Perry. Tyler Schwallenberg. Polly Herhold. Molly Ray Kruger. Karen Lynn Ranstrom. Claire Barnett. Megan Catherine Roby. Leah Lewitt. Caitlin Kusky. Alana Renee Elder. Andrea Riveros. Marie Evelyn Moreno Velasco. Jessica Mata Alcazar. Maria Salas Ramirez. Alicia Romero. April Marie Utili. Eric Yoon. Will the candidates for the degree Master of Arts please rise? I'll ad-lib you.
Candidates for the class of 2019, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the President and Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree Master of Arts with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Since we know the traffic was bad, and we are infinitely flexible, and they were standing when the conferral happened, we will have a few more Masters of Science students coming through right now. Sheyuan Wang, Electrical Engineering. Thank you. Congratulations. Changsheng Liu, Computer Engineering. Rui Zhang, Electrical Engineering. Weikai Lin, Electrical Engineering. Chancellor Blumenthal, I am pleased to present to you those students who have successfully completed the prescribed course of studies for the degree Master of Fine Arts. Mavis Su. Oh, good first name. Quentin LaRue. Jordan Magnuson, Digital Arts and New Media. Zoe Sandoval, Digital Arts and New Media. Shimuel Fatima Chowdhury, Digital Arts and New Media. Kathleen Deck, Digital Arts and New Media. Keegan Farrell, Digital Arts and New Media. Laura Stevenson, Digital Arts and New Media. Yinzi Lee, Digital Arts and New Media. Avital Meshi, Digital Arts and New Media. Congratulations. Will the candidates for the degree Master of Fine Arts please rise?
Candidates, by virtue of the authority granted me by the President and the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree Master of Fine Arts with all of the rights and privileges thereto pertaining. Congratulations.
Okay. Now we come to the doctoral candidates. Doctoral students are admitted to graduate study after an extensive review by a faculty admissions committee. After several years of demanding coursework, the student prepares to take the qualifying exam composed of an oral and written examination. After successful passage of the exam, the student conducts research and the writing of the dissertation. Our doctoral students also present their research at scholarly conferences, as well as publish articles in academic journals. All of this culminates in the awarding of the doctoral degree. Presenting our doctoral degree recipients will be Campus Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor Lori Kletzer. Provost Kletzer.
Good morning. Chancellor Blumenthal, I am pleased to present to you those students who have successfully completed the prescribed course of studies and research for the degree Doctor of Musical Arts in Music Composition. Our two DMA candidates will remain on stage till the Chancellor confers the degree. David Andrew Kant, Music Composition. Professor Larry Polanski will hood the candidate. Joseph Edward Devansens, music composition. Professor Larry Polanski will hood the candidate.
So to both of our candidates, by virtue of the authority granted me by the President and the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Musical Arts with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Now I will present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. It is worth saying again, this year we are awarding the first PhD degrees in the Feminist Studies program. Feminist Studies, located in the Humanities Division, is an interdisciplinary program investigating how relations of gender are embedded in social, political, racial, and cultural transformations. The department is an internationally recognized center for feminist scholarship, and we are all thrilled to have Feminist Studies PhD candidates with us. Chancellor Blumenthal, I am pleased to present to you those students who have successfully completed the prescribed course of studies and research for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Fabiola Hanna, Film and Digital Media. Professor Warren Sack will hood the candidate. Sean Gasarek, Mathematics. Professor Richard Montgomery will hood the candidate. Jonathan Chi, Mathematics. Professor Richard Montgomery will hood the candidate. Kara Hisatake, Literature. Professors Rob Wilson and Christine Hong will hood the candidate. Ken Carmen Cameron Dominguez, Anthropology. Professor Mark Anderson, will, and I have that. Samantha Lawrence Ganazzi, Literature. Professor Sean Kylan will hood the candidate. Scott Corbett Riley, Literature. Professor Susan Gilman will hood the candidate. Laura Gallas, Literature. Professor Susan Gilman will hood the candidate. Jennifer Ann Bellick, Linguistics. Professor Jay Padgett will hood the candidate. Alirio Karina, History of Consciousness. Professors David Marriott and Gina Dent will hood the candidate. Devin Lawrence Hollywood, physics. Professor Tesla Geltima will hood the candidate. Caitlin Ann Johnson, physics. Professor David Williams will hood the candidate. Nicholas Fernandez, physics. Professor Stefano Profumo will hood the candidate. Murish Mark-Galavwe, history. Professor David Brundage will hood the candidate. Amy Hart, history. Professor Lynn Westerkamp will hood the candidate. Samantha Michelle Williams, history. Professor Amy Lonetree will hood the candidate. Amber Hickey, visual studies. Professor Derek Murray will hood the candidate. Acacia Overoy, psychology. Professor Benjamin Storm will hood the candidate. Annie Stanfield Ditta, psychology. Professor Benjamin Storm will hood the candidate. Patrawat Samermit, psychology. Professor Nicholas Davidenko will hood the candidate. Jennifer Ann Day, psychology. Professor Nicholas Davidenko will hood the candidate. Alina Sue Larson, psychology. Professor Jean Foxtree will hood the candidate. Sean Ryan William Smith, computer science. Professor Sri Kurniawan will hood the candidate. Aaron Springer, computer science. Professor Sri Kurliawan will hood the candidate. Victoria Hollis, psychology. Professor Sri Kuryawan will hood the candidate. Continuing a pattern, Ryan James Compton, computer science. Professor Sri Kuryawan will hood the candidate. Nick Kalani and Trilly, psychology. Professor Suhua Huang will hood the candidate. Christy Eliana Michelle Starr, psychology. Professor Campbell Leeper will hood the candidate. Brittany Danielle Young, Psychology. Professor Margarita Esmitia will hood the candidate. Kathleen M. Markham, Chemistry. Professor Glenn Milhauser will hood the candidate. E. Peng, Chemistry. Professor Showa Chen will hood the candidate. William Wright Hollingsworth, Chemistry. Professor Alexander Eisner will hood the candidate. Michael Roders, Chemistry. Professor Alexander Eisner will hood the candidate. Inda So, Chemistry. Professor Scott Oliver will hood the candidate. Susan Citrak, Chemistry. Professor Scott Oliver will hood the candidate. Ana Rosa Carre Chattaneva, Chemistry. Professor Scott Oliver will hood the candidate. Sarah Bonabi, Chemistry. Professor Scott Oliver will hood the candidate. Brian Edward Pratt, Economics. Professor Carlos Dobkin will hood the candidate. Eva Shapiro, Economics. Professor Carlos Dobkin will hood the candidate. Jayu Su, Economics. Professor Michael Hutchison will hood the candidate. Jijan Fan, Economics. Professor George Bowman will hood the candidate. Alan Ledesma, Economics. Professor Carl Walsh will hood the candidate. Giselle Migliaranza Rizzi Posignolo, Microbiology and Environmental Toxicology. Professor Donald Smith will hood the candidate. Rafael Trapani Posignolo, Computer Engineering. Professor Jose Renal will hood the candidate. Sarah Midori Kelman, Anthropology. Professor Lisa Rofel will hood the candidate. Michelle Gia, Molecular Cell and Developmental Biology. Professor E. Zhou will hood the candidate. Lottie Brozzi, Molecular Cell and Developmental Biology. Professor William Saxton will hood the candidate. Brant Waricki, Molecular Cell and Developmental Biology. Professor William Saxton will hood the candidate. Maybe. Pauline Blamont, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology. Barry Sinervo will hood the candidate. Sarah Elizabeth Keenley, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology. Professors Rita Mehta and Daniel Costa will hood the candidate. Chris Law, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology. Professor Rita Mehta will hood the candidate. Stephanie Taylor, Earth Sciences. Professor Emily Brodsky will hood the candidate. Alexander Lewis Nearson, Earth Sciences. Professor Noah Finnegan will hood the candidate. Madison Hying, Music. Professor Amy Beal will hood the candidate. Carissa Joanne Noble, Music. Professor Amy Beal will hood the candidate. Benjamin Negley, Music. Professor Amy Beal will hood the candidate. Philip J. Matthias, Astronomy and Astrophysics. Professor Enrico Ramirez Ruiz will hood the candidate. Christopher Ryan Mankiewicz, Astronomy and Astrophysics. Professor Jonathan Fortney will hood the candidate. Daniel Peter Thorngren, Physics. Professors Jonathan Fortney and Jane Thorngren will hood the candidate. Amita Kuttner, Astronomy and Astrophysics. Professor Anthony Aguirre will hood the candidate. Eric Gentry, Astronomy and Astrophysics. Professor Piero Medal will hood the candidate. Emily Clifford Cunningham, Astronomy and Astrophysics. Professors Puragra Guthrakurta and Constance Rokasi will hood the candidate. Christina Corfield, Film and Digital Media. Professor Jenny Horn will hood the candidate. Chrissy Anderson Zavala, Education. Professor Cindy Cruz will hood the candidate. Shiva Melody Sabati, Education. Professor Ron Glass will hood the candidate. Ethan Chang, Education. Professor Ronald Glass will hood the candidate. Priscilla Wing-Kei Sung, Psychology. Dr. Anna Scher will hood the candidate. Catherine E. Compton, Computer Science. Professor Jim Whitehead will hood the candidate. Joe Muzica, Computer Science. Professor Jim Whitehead will hood the candidate. Jess Watcott, Politics. Professors Dean Mathewitz and Silvana Falcone will hood the candidate. Juan Prieto Sanabria, Politics. Professor Kent Eaton will hood the candidate. Politics. Professor Eleonora Passate will hood the candidate. Do I need to wait? Okay, can I have mine? Will the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy please rise?
Before I confer the Doctor of Philosophy degree, I would like to congratulate all of our graduates today on your new admission as members of the UC Santa Cruz Alumni Association. And now, to candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree. By virtue of the authority granted me by the President and the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy, with all of the rights and privileges thereto pertaining. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Will the audience please rise? This concludes our ceremony, but if you would remain standing as the academic processional recedes, that would be fantastic. And again, thank you for joining us this morning for this auspicious occasion. And congratulations again to all the graduates of 2019.